9 killed in US strikes on Iran-linked site in Syria. Before we dive in details, please subscribe to the channel and stay always one step ahead to know all global important events happening around you. Give a thumbs up and share the video with your family and friends. Let's move on with the video. United States is striving to deter Iran and its proxies from turning the Israel-Hamas fighting into a regional war, but the repeated attacks and strikes in response risk a conflict between Washington and Tehran. US warplanes carried out a strike on an Iran-linked weapons storage facility in eastern Syria on Wednesday in response to attacks against American personnel, US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said. It is the second time in roughly 2 weeks that the United States has targeted a location in Syria it said was tied to Iran, which supports an array of groups that Washington blames for a spike in attacks on its forces in the Middle East. The United States is striving to deter Iran and its proxies from turning the Israel-Hamas fighting into a regional war. But the repeated attacks and strikes in response risk a conflict between Washington and Tehran. US military forces conducted a self-defense strike on a facility in eastern Syria used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, and affiliated groups. This strike was conducted by 2 US F-15s against a weapons storage facility, Austin said in a statement. This precision self-defense strike is a response to a series of attacks against US personnel in Iraq and Syria by IRGC Quds Force affiliates, Austin said, adding that the United States is fully prepared to take further necessary measures to protect our people and our facilities. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights War Monitor said the Wednesday strike killed 9 people affiliated with Iran-backed groups in Syria, a toll that could not be independently confirmed. The US military also hit 2 facilities in Syria on October 26th that it said were used by the IRGC and affiliated groups, and assessed that those strikes did not cause casualties. Like the most recent strike, Washington said the earlier 2 were in response to attacks on US personnel, who have been targeted more than 40 times with rockets and drones since October 17th. MQ-9 drone shot down. The surge in attacks on US troops is linked to the war between Israel and Hamas, which began when the militant group carried out a shock cross-border attack from Gaza on October 7th that Israeli officials say killed more than 1,400 people. Israel's military responded with a relentless air, land and naval assault on Gaza that the territory's health ministry said has left more than 10,500 people dead. There are roughly 2,500 American troops in Iraq and some 900 in Syria as part of efforts to prevent a resurgence of the Islamic State group. The jihadists once held significant territory in both countries, but were pushed back by local ground forces supported by international airstrikes in a bloody multi-year conflict. In another incident linked to the Israel-Hamas war, the Houthis, who seized Yemen's capital Sana'a in 2014 and control large swathes of the country, said Wednesday that they shot down an American drone. Our air defenses were able to down an American MQ-9 while it was carrying out hostile surveillance and espionage activities in Yemeni territorial waters as part of American military support for Israel, the rebels said in a statement. A senior defense official from the United States, which rushed military support to Israel and also bolstered American forces in the region after the October 7th attack, confirmed that one of the country's drones was downed. The Houthis are opposed to government forces in Yemen and are also part of the axis of resistance of groups arrayed against Israel. They have claimed responsibility for multiple drone and missile attacks against Israel during its war with Hamas, and the US Navy intercepted missiles fired by the rebels last month. A series of MQ-9 drones, which can fly more than 1,100 miles, 1,700 kilometers, at altitudes of up to 50,000 feet, 15,000 meters, and can be used for both surveillance and strikes, have been lost or damaged in recent years, including one the United States assessed was downed by the Houthis in 2019. The message was clear. Any attack on US assets would not go unanswered. The dust settles, the smoke clears, but the repercussions are far from over. As the echoes of the US airstrikes on Iran-linked sites in Syria fade into oblivion, the harsh realities of the aftermath emerge from the shadows. The tangible destruction is visible in the damaged facilities, the smouldering remnants of what was once a bustling military operation. The human toll is even more poignant. 6 US service members diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries, an American contractor's life snuffed out, 5 soldiers scarred, and 8 militants silenced forever. But it's not just the physical casualties that leave a mark. The psychological impacts are equally profound. Imagine the soldiers, their minds echoing with the sounds of explosions, their dreams infiltrated by the harsh reality of warfare. And then there are the concussions, common among service members, their debilitating symptoms often overlooked in the aftermath of the larger conflict. The international reaction is as varied as it is impassioned. Allies, adversaries and neutral observers alike, all drawn into the conversation, their responses echoing their geopolitical leanings. Some voice support for the US, citing the need to defend interests overseas. Others express concern, decrying the escalation of violence. The financial world too feels the tremors of the strikes. Stocks in the Gulf take a hit, their decline a testament to the interconnectedness of our global economy. And yet, amidst the turmoil, life goes on. Markets open, stocks rise and fall as the world adjusts to this new reality. In the aftermath of the strikes, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The intricate web of global politics and warfare is a complex dance. Actions have consequences. Decisions ripple across borders, and the echoes of conflict reverberate long after the final shot is fired. In the world of warfare, every action has a reaction, every cause an effect. But what does this incident tell us about the larger state of global politics and warfare? In the grand scheme of things, this event is not an isolated incident. It's a manifestation of the ongoing tensions between the United States and Iran, a relationship that has been fraught with conflict for decades. The drone's downfall and subsequent airstrikes on Iran-linked sites in Syria reflect the delicate balance of power in the Middle East and the strategic chess game that is international politics. The situation in Syria is a complex web of alliances and rivalries. The presence of US forces, their allies, and Iran-aligned militias in the oil-rich province of Deir al-Zor highlights the region's strategic importance. Each skirmish, each drone shot down, and each airstrike is a move in a high-stakes game, with Syria's territory serving as the chessboard. The broader geopolitical landscape is also impacted by these incidents. The US's commitment to defending its troops and interests overseas is evident. However, each action resonates far beyond the immediate battlefield, influencing relations with other countries, impacting global stock markets, and even raising concerns in far-off places like Israel. The involvement of military technology, like drones, in these conflicts illustrates the evolving face of warfare. As technology advances, the methods of engaging in and responding to conflicts change, adding another layer of complexity to an already intricate situation. As we delve deeper into the 21st century, the interplay between politics, warfare and technology becomes increasingly intertwined. Understanding this complex relationship will be crucial for navigating the international landscape. As we navigate through these turbulent times, one thing is certain: the intricate web of global politics and warfare continues to evolve, and we must strive to understand it.